we're seeing here Graham Simpson, MSP, formerly a Conservative, but you can see there the flag of Reform behind him, because that is the breaking news this morning. The Tory MSP, Graham Simpson, has defected to Reform. Nigel Farage is also in Scotland as part of this announcement. Graham Simpson, MSP for Central Scotland, has been part of the Conservative Party, sits on committees for local government, housing and planning, and also public audit committees in the Scottish Parliament. Previous roles have included net zero energy and transport, deputy party spokesperson for the Conservatives on transport too. Well, that's a bit of his background. Let's listen to what he has to say.
Now, I've been thinking about my future for some time. I decided a few months ago that I would not be standing for the Scottish Conservatives again, and others have taken the same decision. I told the party that at the end of May, but with the Hamilton by-election looming, where Ross did very, very well, I promised not to say anything. I've not stuck out a press release or said anything on social media. I honestly thought the most likely scenario for me would be to move on to the next stage of my life and find a job in one of the sectors that really interests me, such as housing or transport. And although finding a job may not have been easy, I think I have enough respect out there to have got something that would have excited me. But I've watched Reform with interest, and I see the opportunity to help to create something fresh here in Scotland. And it's clear that the voters agree in increasing numbers. But just because a party is becoming popular isn't a reason to join it. Keeping your job in Parliament isn't a good enough reason either. I've only reached the decision that I have in the past few weeks, and I mean over the summer, and it's not been easy. It really has not been easy. I first joined the Conservatives when I was at school. Just before Mrs. Thatcher came to power, I left politics for a career in journalism, but then rejoined and have been a councillor and an MSP. So I'm really very fortunate. I know what a Conservative is, and I actually wrote about it last year, just to remind some people. The election next year here in Scotland is going to see a very different Parliament from the one we have now, which is stale and very often uninspiring. Too many people feel let down and ignored. They feel the system is against them, that the traditional parties don't even care about them. Save for some fine individual MSPs across parties, the political class is not serving the people well. Failure is accepted and change takes far too long. And I'll give you a couple of examples personally of that. Thousands of people living in tenements often face real difficulties when it comes to maintaining their buildings. In the last session of Parliament, March 2018 to be exact, a group of MSPs from across the divide formed a working group to see how we could address the challenges, and we came up with some proposals. But it will be the next Parliament until we see any legislative change, so probably at least 10 years since we first started looking at this. The second example of how slow things can be has been the progress of my Members' Bill, which would see a system of recall introduced into the Scottish Parliament. I first mooted this at the end of the last session of Parliament and started work on it at the beginning of this session. It's badly needed to restore some trust, but we've not even had the stage one debate. It might get over the line.
Graham Simpson, MSP, there announcing his defection from the Conservative Party to Reform, doing so at that press conference in Livingston. He is the MSP for Central Scotland, and that is Graham Simpson. We will hear more reaction, I'm sure, in the coming hours. We'll bring it to you here live on Sky News.